Hello? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I forgot to turn on my my ring light. It's been a while since I was live. Kind of forgotten the routine a little bit. Anyway, hello everybody. I hope everybody's having a fine Monday. Hope everybody's having a fine Monday today. Well, actually, hold on. I've had a decent one myself, but I keep napping for too long. I keep wasting my afternoon. I should just maybe I should take these pillows off of my couch. I don't know. But anyway, today, bird up. Is there a bird in here that I don't know about? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. There's so many. This house is very old. I wouldn't put it past this house to have a gap in it big enough for a bird to fly in. Oh, my shirt. Right. Bird up. Bird up. You know, somebody at one of my old workplaces asked me one time, "Oh, so you like, I wore this shirt," and like, "Oh, you like a Firebird?" I'm like, "Nah, I just like the shirt." And he looked at me like... Anyway, welcome to the chat, Cap. Today on stream, what I'd like to do is, edit the rule book. Or, I guess, not rule book. Because it's not that long. But editing the rules for, Lexicauseways. With all the new notes that we took for the last playtest. And then if we have time after all that, then we can go ahead and edit the board some more. So, I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. I have my notes right here. I'll just go down the list. And I have some music too. Let me know how the levels are. You guys can hear the music and my voice, and they're at good levels. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna have to cancel a couple of streams again this week, just because I have more life stuff happening. So there's gonna be today and then Friday, but Wednesday and Thursday I'll have to cancel. Okay. So first one is tiles and duels go to the bag. This is just not something I specified. A very gamer. Well, I have a life. I have a life, okay? Player's pawn moves into another player's pawn. Okay. And I probably want to do another pass on this for, like, just brevity. So I feel like this is too long for what the game is, you know? Placing a letter tile. Okay, so actually this is completely outdated now. So these players engage in a duel. The attacking player ahead and color all the old text. Well, the attacking player the longest word they can in their hand. The attacking player creates the longest word they can from the tiles in their hand. Then the defending player attempts to create a longer word. Attacking player creates the longest word they can from the tiles in their hand. And then the defending player attempts to create a longer word. The player creates the longest word they can, and then the defending player does the same. Wins the duel. Are the same length. Add up the sum of each. How do I say that? Add up the sum of each word's value. If the words are the same length, add up the sum of each word's letter value. IV. Printed the tiles. Wins. There we go. Whenever a player's pawn moves into another player's pawn, those players engage in a duel. To duel, the attacking player creates the longest word they can from the tiles in their hand, and then the defending player does the same. The player who creates the longest word wins the duel. If the words are the same length, add up the sum of each word's letter value, denoted by the red numbers printed on the tiles. The higher value wins. Yeah, makes sense to me. Defender wins. Out of the game. Oh, so chat, I don't know if you saw this on my Twitter.com, but the first year anniversary of the stream was actually on the 6th, and I missed it. I wanted to do something for the first anniversary, but I guess we can do something belated if we wanted to. I don't know what that would be. Like what the most appropriate way to celebrate 1 year of the stream would be. But I suppose if you guys have any ideas, then I'd be open to it. I have an idea myself, but I was curious what you would think about that. Because there's nothing like, I don't have a central thing that I do on the channel, so it's a little hard to decide. Now, you could read chat. Just an entire stream where I read chat. How would that even work? It's like, I go live. I just say, okay, chat, just type whatever you want for 2 hours. I'll be back. I'm gonna go grab some dinner. And then I come back and read everything at the end. Like, how would that work? That would not be... That'd be barely a stream. All tiles used in a duel. Tile bag. Tile bag. There we go. Okay, so that's one. Do a montage. All the big misses? Well, listen. The stream has to be like under 3 hours. And how would I just like watching every video on the channel? I don't know. I kind of thought about doing that, like doing a like let's go through all the highlights of the stream together, you know. But they're all 2 to 3 hour long VODs, so I don't know the logistics of that. That'd be fun though. Take turn as normal after duel. Full attacker's pawn. One move past the defender's pawn. Choose their turn. It's normal. One idea I had was, I found this I found this YouTube video that's like um, a fan-made story mode for Smash Ultimate. Like they basically how that works is that they designed a bunch of scenarios that you can set up in like single player Smash that sort of emulates like a story mode, and it comes with like cutscenes that are like spliced together from a bunch of different source material. I thought maybe that might be interesting to do since I've always been talking about streaming Smash Brothers on stream at some point. That seemed like a fun thing to do. I've never seen that before. Okay, so this next one is look at half vowels slash make different chance time rules for 2 players. Maybe let's look at that next. Is this Terraria? Yes it is. This is specifically Terraria Alternate Day is what it says. But while I'm here in chance time area, I'm gonna remove this. This is remove the ability to change roles in chance time, because it never got used, and kind of undermines the whole point of chance time. If you can manipulate the roles, it's not really a chance anymore, is it? Okay, so all vowels, no letters, stalemate. Yes. Okay. Where would I put that? Where would it make most sense to put rules for stalemating? I guess that would go, guess we could just make a new area, maybe? Seems a bit like a waste, but, Century School Book 16. Stalemate. Or SB12. Stalemate. In the unlikely event that actually this is even more unlikely now, right? If we change the rules to where like everybody gets their own set of color slots. That should never happen, actually, a stalemate, right? Because a stalemate could only happen if nobody is able to draw anymore. So nobody can move anywhere. And nobody has any tiles left. I guess it's still theoretically possible, so... The unlikely event that... In the unlikely event that it becomes impossible for any player to will there be a drinking version? I mean, you could make a drinking game out of anything if you wanted to, right? I mean, I don't know how you turn this one into a drinking game. I don't plan on making any official rules on that, but you can knock yourself out. The unlikely event that every player has no tiles and is also unable to draw more tiles. And therefore cannot duel or move around the board. The game ends in a stalemate amongst all players. The game ends in a stalemate. There, should be enough. You cannot build off of spaces with blockades on them. Wait. Yeah. Now where's the blockade area? Letter tiles in your hand onto the chosen space. Players' pawns cannot move through a blockade. And bridges cannot be built off of blockade on it. Hello, Cyto Architect. Welcome to the stream. You think that people who daydream are cool? I mean, I feel like whether or not you daydream is not really connected to how cool that I think you are. I mean, most people daydream, I think. But overall, your status of daydreamer is not relevant to whether or not I think you would be cool or not, I guess. Okay, replenish after duels for 2 players. Right, okay, we were talking about this last time. Should you be able to replenish letter tiles after you've finished a duel? So that you're just not like a sitting duck. Did we ever come to a conclusion on this? Cat? I think that was something we were going to discuss later. I'll save that one for later. It seems like a more in-depth problem. I'd like to put all the easy ones in here first. Such as, in setup, place the pawns first before anything else. That was just sort of like, you know, it felt more natural to have it, have that happen first. So we'll cut this. Cut. Okay, so first, have all players roll the dice. The higher roller goes first. Players take their turns clockwise around the table and place their pawn in turn order on any start space. Player a pawn and places it in turn order on any start space. We can delete this. Each player draws 7 letter tiles and put the letter tiles in. Okay, look at their hand. Finally, place the. There we go. Okay. So pawns first. Oh, I finally went to that Smash tournament I've been talking about all the time. Went to my first local on Saturday. That was pretty fun. A lot of cool folks there. You know, it's always a toss-up. You know, whether or not it's always a toss-up whether or not, you know, these things are going to have good people at them. You know, because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a bunch of strangers in a room, right? But it was a pretty cool pretty cool event. Met some nice people. And actually, me and Wabus, we played on stream together. We were in a doubles bracket, and that was actually the one match that we won was recorded. So that's going to go up on YouTube at some point on the tournament organizer's channel, but I don't think it's gotten up there yet. I've been refreshing it every now and then. First letter must be in range. Any letter must multiple bridges in a turn. Okay, so this was a joint one, right? So basically, we ruled that you should be able to place as many tiles as you want, as long as they're in your range. And they form bridges. So let's see. To build a bridge, place letter tiles from your hand onto the board so that they form a word whose first and last letters are either adjacent to a road or bridge, or are part of a road or bridge. Words formed by a bridge must be read left to right or top to bottom. In addition, the first letter tile placed when building a bridge must be within range of your pawn. You may as many bridges as you like. You may build bridges, plural. You may build as many bridges as you like. Your turn. This is actually not... When viewing the board with the... Lexicauseways logo at the top. I should save this. I haven't saved it yet. Save as... three. Go. Is Y a vowel? Yes. I don't know where I put that though. Where's the first time I mentioned vowels in this rulebook? Vowel. You want to know the vowel? Y counts. Y counts as a vowel. Okay. I don't think I have to specify that for every time the word vowel is mentioned. Right? I mean, if I... Well... Yeah, if you mention it one time, right? Like, you shouldn't have to say it again. Well, I guess it's only mentioned twice. Why not? Get it. Move through player if you don't want to duel. Right. Man, this block is already really big. Duel, the attacking player creates the longest word they can from the tiles in their hand. So you can move through a player if you don't want to duel, if you spend a tile. Where would I put that? Where a player's pawn moves into another player's pawn. Those players engage in a duel. Move through a pawn. Through another player's pawn. Without inciting a duel. Spend. If you choose a letter tile from your hand and turn it to the letter bag. Whenever a player's pawn moves into another player's pawn, those players engage in a duel. You may move through another player's pawn without inciting a duel if you choose a letter tile from your hand and return it to the letter bag. You may elect to do nothing except on the movement turn. Or, yeah, you may... or do nothing. You may draw letter tiles until you have 7 in your hand. You may destroy a bridge or create a blockade. Case. Do nothing. Okay. If you roll doubles, you may choose not to move. You roll doubles. Do not move. Look at that, we're just hammering these out. Change wording of landing on for phase 3. Well, what was... Hold on. I remember making this note. Why did we rule on this, if you remember, Cap? I have it said, I wrote down change wording of landing on for phase 3. So it says if you landed on a consonant, you may draw letter tiles until you have 7 letter tiles in your hand. If you landed on a vowel... Oh, right. We were going to change it to if you ended your turn. Right? Or if you were on. To account for not moving at all. Right. That's correct. Okay. So if you ending the turn, right? Or if your pawn is on a consonant, if your pawn is on a vowel. That makes sense, right? Because, like, your turn isn't ending there. It's like if your pawn is on a consonant by the time part 3 happens, like the third part of your turn is happening. I think that makes sense. Rename chance time. How many, Control F. How many times is the word chance time in here? Chance time. Chance time. Okay. Bonus roll. And where was it? Bonus roll. In the bonus roll? Yeah. Three plus bridges are permanent. Right. So in order to incentivize trying to use more letter tiles per turn and building longer bridges, we thought it was a good idea to implement making longer bridges more powerful. So where would that be here? I guess that'd be in the bridge area. Okay, there's two options here for where this could go that I think are both viable. We could put this in the section talking about bridges. Maybe like at the end here, like tacked on to the end. Which would make sense, because, you know, it's about bridges. But it could also be in the destroying bridges area, right? Where it's like, oh, but by the way, the bridges you can't destroy are ones that are 3 or more tiles long. What do you think would make more sense? If we put this information about permanent bridges in the building bridges section or the destroying bridges section? Because I think those are both viable. Both? I'm trying to make this as efficient as possible. Really, you should only have to write down something one time, right? Like, I suppose it's fair. We need to break up this block, though. Bridges. Slow tire placed when building a bridge within range of your pawn, which is a 5x5 square with your pawn at the center. You may build as many bridges as you like on your turn. Bridges with a length of 3 or more tiles cannot be destroyed. Destroy a bridge. Place a continuous horizontal vertical bridge. Layer tile to the tile bag. Wait. Tile bag. Need to be consistent here. But you know, it'd be goofy and quirky with a reminder like, but don't forget that those pesky 3-tile bridges can be destroyed. Oh, those not so little rascals. Teehee. Yeah, I mean, I like the author's voice that you're going for. A little out of place when everything else is pretty clinical. I wouldn't be opposed to adding some you know, author's voice to the rules later. You know, after all the rules are actually written down and solid, then we can actually add some style to it. But I'm thinking maybe that's not quite the voice I'd go with. Length of destroyed. Suit yourself. Well, you know, it's your funeral, bud. You know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make these rules a little bit more lean. I feel like there's a lot of fat to trim here. It just looks like a lot of text. You know what I mean? I want to make it as efficient as I can. And then rules for 2 players and 4 players is the last note I have. Like making separate rules for 2-player games and 4-player games. Which, I'm still not sure about doing that. It wouldn't hurt anything, I guess, but it would add yet more text. What would you have to change, right? What are the things that you'd have to change between a 2-player game or for a 2-player game, right? You'd have to change how the bonus roll works. Gotta change how special tiles work. You'd have to change... Yeah, because the current rules for bonus rolls really only make sense for 4 players. 2 out of the 3 special tiles. Well. Oh. Let's look at the special tiles. Or special spaces, rather. Because this one's pretty not very useful. Can you guys even read what's on screen right now? Sorry. Should have asked me to zoom in. So... the Extendo Rango power is not very useful in 2 players. This one is, you know, it's useful. It's not dependent on how many players there are. And then the teleport is useful 1 time, and then you never use it again. So we need to make some considerations for the special spaces. I think duels can still work, just as they are, in 2 players. Well, I say that, but then maybe we should... There's always the possibility of adding, like, a sort of refresh after a duel. Like, you get tiles back. Duels. The setup would be the same. Turn sequence. Bonus roll, special stage, duel. Yeah. Bonus roll, special spaces, and duels would have to change. Rule number 1. Keep your back to the wall. Rule number 2. Don't trip and fall. Rule number 3. Do not talk about Lexicauseways. Ever. Rule number 4. Do not ask what the soap is made of. Okay, so, individual color slots. Slots? Individual color slots. What if 2-player games allowed for 10 tile hands? Perhaps. That would kind of offset the problem. You wouldn't have to like build, or you wouldn't have to, well, yeah, you could still build a decent word and still have tiles left over in your hand after a duel. Plus, you could afford to have 10 tiles each, because there's only 2 of you. That's not a bad idea. Thanks, what's a bus? Thank you for your input. I know, right? Isn't What's a Bus so intelligent and handsome? And awesome every way. He's probably really great at War Thunder, too. That's just a hunch. Seems like the type, though. To replace a letter tile in a color slot, return the letter tile in the color slot to the tile bag. Okay, so we wanted to implement a new system where instead of every player sharing the same 3 color slots, each player has their own red and blue color slot, and then everybody shares a green one. But how do I write that in the rules? So 3 letter tiles, or I get how many letter tiles would you then need? It wouldn't be 3. It wouldn't just be a flat 3. It would be however many players there are. So at minimum 5, right? Because there's 1 green, then 2 reds, and then 2 blues. place them randomly face up in true. Yeah, that makes sense. Each player draws 2 letter tiles and places them in their red and blue color slots. Yeah, that makes sense. Each player draws. Player who rolled the highest draws a letter tile and places it in the communal green slot. Well, why would it matter? I mean, it doesn't really matter who places it because it's going to be random anyway. I mean, somebody has to do it, so I guess just arbitrarily giving it to some player wouldn't hurt. But I don't think it would. I don't think it would matter. Draws 2 letter tiles. Face up. There. Blue color slots. Doesn't, but it makes them feel more important. The first player draws an additional shared green Clolor. The Clolor slot. Clolor. Color slot. The spaces that make up the roads are treated as the letter tiles corresponding color slots. Well, that needs to. I need to reword that too. Because the spaces that make up the roads are treated as the letter tiles in their corresponding color slots, but only for each player. Spaces that make up the roads. For their respective players. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Then each player draws 2 letter tiles and places them randomly face up in their red and blue color slots. The first player draws an additional letter tile and places it face up on the shared green color slot. The spaces that make up the roads are treated as the letter tiles in their corresponding color slots for their respective players. Is that worded right? Does that make sense? We also do nothing. Makes sense to me. Okay, good. I should probably specify that you can replace any color slot that you want instead of just your own, because I think most people would just assume. Makes sense because I know what you're trying to convey. You can see how it can be confusing to a first-time reader. I think if you could see the board while also reading it, I think it would make more sense. Each player draws 2 letter tiles and places them randomly face up in their red and blue color slots. Yeah. I could see where maybe that might be a little confusing. It's like, what are color slots, you know? Why? Have you just been waiting all week for me to stream again so you could do that? Thank you very much, What's a Bus and Wasabas. Very cool. I have the best chat in the world, fellas. Can continue. It was streamed in ages. It's been... Well, the last time I streamed was Monday, right? Last Monday? I think. I don't remember. For Gore. Okay. So then all that's left to do is make make separate rulings for 2 players. I think how I want to do this is make the 2-player rules a separate color. Like blue. Like that. Alternative rules. The following rules are intended for 3 to 4 players. Alternative rules for 2-player games are written in blue. Like 2010. I'll be real with you, I can't tell it's a different font color. I love that emote. By the way. That's one of Asiric's emotes actually. Okay, I'll change the color. Is this shade of blue better? Or no? Now, do keep in mind, only the words written in blue are written in blue. I guess maybe we should think about color blindness here. Marginally. How about orange? Or is that just hard to read, like, in general? Make it bold? Should I make it bold and a different color, or just make it bold? Because that's what it looks like. Bold and text. Has Asiric streamed in a while? I don't know if he has. I wonder what's going on. Maybe he probably has been streaming. I just haven't been online. Who is Asiric? Oh, I don't know. Beats me. Have each player draw 7-letter tiles. Sounds kind of sus, a little suspicious, a little devious. A little deceiving, perhaps. There aren't very many good synonyms for suspicious. Don't say that. Don't pog for that. Come on. You wouldn't say that to a Cyric, would you? Yes, you would. I don't know why I asked that. You would definitely say that to a Cyric in his own chat. Okay. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Mods, delete that. Oh, wait. That presents a bit of an issue, doesn't it? Okay, so I like the idea of 2 players being able to have more tiles at once. Should it be 10 or like even as much as 12? Because that's not quite double. It's almost double the hand size. Would that be like unwieldy though? Like having 12 letters at once? I'll keep it there. Because like the whole point of us wanting to have more tiles for 2 players is that they can exit duels with more left over, you know. So I think this is a good choice. Okay. There's a lot. I mean, I like lots of things at once, but like, I don't know how I feel about 12. It doesn't make me tingle in a good way, or does it make me tingle in a bad way? Thing. You typed all that out for that for that stupid punchline. Beppis. I appreciate the I like the spirit. Tiles, spaces that make up the roads are created. Token in the top special slot. Bridges, or place a letter tile in a color slot. These are fine. Within range. Yada yada. Place a letter tile. Fun. Yeah, all these are fine for 2 players. Consonant. On a vowel. Destroy a bridge. A bridge when it is destroyed, that player moves their pawn. Show space, okay. We have blockade. Bonus roll. The winner is the player who rolled the highest. The winner may either move the token to a different special slot, be awarded a bonus according to how many pawns were on a vowel. I hope that got clipped. I don't know. I'm not in charge of clipping. That's up to the chat to do. Done and done. That's weird. I didn't get a Discord notification like usual. Okay. So, this is one of the things we wanted to change. For 2 players. Because you can have no vowels, you can have all vowels, and you can have half vowels in 2 players. But you can't have none of the above. Yeah, it's just not possible. So I guess I'll just copy and paste this. We'll see. Wait. Put it here instead. Draw a new letter tile for each. Need to make it bold. Vowels. The winner may take. We could change this to like 2 letter tiles. I can tell you what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it. Ah. You know that GIF with the where it's like the 2 guys in like a Apple store. One of them's showing somebody something on like a laptop. And the guy goes like, oh. And then like goes to the computer. That's what I imagine when I hear that. But ain't got no gas in it, guys. Oh shoot, Bubba. We didn't check. So I'm gonna move the none of the above effect from the 4-player set to the half vowels. Since that's much more useful than switching places with the other player in a 2-player game. It doesn't really change much at all. And extra movement roll. It's a pretty good one. My favorites, actually. I'm a big fan of the guys yelling at each other from across a long distance saying, "What's your name?" Makes me chuckle. What's a buzz? What do you say? I've never heard of that "what's your name" meme. I'm not familiar with that. Maybe I have seen it. I just can't recognize it from your description, but it doesn't seem familiar. Road space highlighted in yellow. Pawns that are on special space. Top. Pawn's range extends across the entire board. Okay. So, the only one that is definitely not useful is this top effect. Right? Having range, having like infinite range, right? Because you're going to be next to your opponent most of the time anyway in 2 players. The middle one is definitely still good. The bottom one is like kind of okay for 2 players, being able to teleport between spaces. So, I have a couple of options I'm thinking of. One is that the system is the same, except you just can't choose the top one. Or another option would be like the special spaces are always locked to the middle one. You know, and it can't move. So you can't teleport or extend your range in a 2-player game. That might be an option. Or we could have it so that both of these are always active, like you can choose either or, maybe? Or the... when he... Have I seen that before? That, like, scratched a strange part of my brain. Like, I thought that was one meme, but... The top one changes to swap hands. Just swap hands entirely. When would that activate though, right? So like your turn starts and you're on the special space. When are you allowed to do that? At any point in your turn? Or I guess during the first part of your turn when you land on it. Or alternatively when you end your turn on it. Ain't got no gas in it. When your pawn ends its turn on the special space, you may switch hands with the other player. And I guess we can keep the other ones the same. When someone comments on a property on Vine Street, well, you know better, tell them it's TikTok Street now. Property on Vine Street. Is this a Monopoly reference? I haven't played Monopoly in a while. Actually, why did I repeat that? That doesn't need to be there. I would like to see a Monopoly Scrabble collab. That's a power duo worth shipping and making. Oh, okay. That took a turn for the worse. I wonder though, is there Monopoly fan fiction? I mean, it does have a character, so that makes it eligible, right? Person who did Jag's music art can do the art. I don't think she's into that kind of artwork. I haven't asked though, so I mean, I don't know. Could you ask if she would commission for it? I won't. Uh, I don't know if I'd be comfortable asking her to commission NSFW art. I could hey, would you ever be willing to commission NSFW artwork? Then she'd be like, no. And I'd be like, great. Could you do Monopoly X Scrabble fanfiction for me, please? Then she'd be like, don't talk to me ever again. This music is intense. Well, it was. Now I think we're, like, playing Bubsy or something. I'll ask her then. Give me her DM info, and I'll send her some sketches. If you're... I don't think you're actually being serious here. But her contact info is she has an Instagram. So if you're actually serious, I can give you her Instagram. But I don't think you are calling your bluff. And we don't have to make any different rules for duels now, because the hand size is much larger. So, I don't think it'd be necessary. And, with that, that's actually all of the... That's actually all of the notes that we had. So that is our new... That's our new set of rules. Tentative. Just got off the phone with her. She left and said no, rejection is rough. You didn't actually, right? Well, I guess you would have her number, wouldn't you? I don't know. I guess you would. At some point you may have gotten her number. She hasn't changed it. The thing is, I don't know if you're being serious or not, because it's definitely something that you would do. But at the same time, I don't feel like asking her, because then I feel like I'm getting... Because then she's like, no, and then I'm like, dang, I got swindled again. I got japed. As your mod, I have all relevant contact info you may need to handle your professional affairs. I'm the best mod available. Yes, thank you for staying on top of things. You have my contact info. You have my social security number, my bank information, a copy of my driver's license and insurance, a key to my house. Everything a mod could ever need. Okay, so we have about 15 minutes left. I'm thinking maybe we could spend a little time going through here, seeing if we can clean anything up. Maybe make like change some wording around, make it a little bit more efficient. Eliminate other players by moving onto them and winning duels. Duels. Win. All players roll the dice. Highest roller goes first. Is this Dark Soul? It is Dark Soul. You can tell by how sad it is. Land on player. Win duel. Eliminate. By clean it up, I don't mean reduce to caveman speak. Setup. Roll die. High roll go first. Player take turn clockwise. Order. The thing is, I feel like this is about as condensed as I can make it, because there's a number of there's a lot of rules for this game, you know. I don't really think I can shorten it anymore without making it confusing. Cavemen speak at a game influenced by Scrabble is a very funny thought. I'm cackling right now. I'm literally crying and rolling on the floor and dying right now. If you think about it, there's a form of author speech. Yeah, writer's voice, you know. It is a it completely betrays the entire aesthetic and vibe of the game. Return to monk. To the monkey. See, okay. A bit of a tangent. Monkey. Is this supposed to be pronounced monk, monkey, or monkey? I've heard it several different ways. And I don't know what would be what would be right in context of the meme? Because obviously it's supposed to be monkey. But, you know, monk fits with the whole, you know, caveman speak shortening words. I think monkey is definitely just wrong, though, right? Monkey. Monkey. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know about that one, Chief. You know what I think we need to do? I think what I need to do, because you made a good point. Like, we know what the rules mean, because we played the game ourselves. What I need is to find somebody that's never played the game before and just give them the rules and see if they can figure out how to play it, you know? So, like, give 2 players or give 4 players the rules and don't explain anything aside from what the rules say and see if they can play the game correctly. What? Who it? That's not her name though, is it? Well, 420 plays it. It's fun. It gives me. It gives me like. When I click on that name, it gives me like a little panel, but there's no information on it because they're not real. That's weird. Okay. I'm going to leave this as is. And I suppose we don't really have any time to do any significant significant alterations to the board. So, you know, I'm actually going to do something that I don't usually do and end the stream earlier than usual. So, ending early? Yeah, I'm a little bit early. We're about nine minutes earlier than usual. Because we accomplished our goal for the day, which was, incorporating all of the notes into the rule book. So, and not really enough time to do anything else today, so. History in the making? I've ended early before, haven't I? Or no? There's got to be at least one other time where I've ended the stream early, right? Maybe this is history in the making. Anyway, regardless, that's the stream for today. Turn off the music there and see if there's anybody. No? Nobody online. Everybody's offline. Hope they just didn't get tired of streaming or something. They're weak. They're weak. You should be able to take a break from streaming. You're here for me. Anyway, yeah. It'd be nice if they had consistent schedules. They can't take the grind. Yeah, I've been at this for a year. I've seen everything. They can't tough it out in this dog eat dog world. Which reminds me again. I'd like to do something for the year anniversary of the stream at some point. Maybe maybe next week when I can actually stream all 4 of my regular days. I'll put something together for that. Maybe do that Smash Brothers story mode thing that I was talking about. I think that could be fun. But I'll let y'all know what I come up with. If I come up with anything. So, Wednesday and Thursday, I will not be streaming. Those streams are canceled. I got life stuff to do. But Friday, I will be here. And we will finally be picking up where we left off in Rogue Galaxy. So that'll be nice. But until then, thank you everybody for coming out. And I hope y'all have a good week, a good night, and I wish you all farewell. Goodbye, everybody.